Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time for our final summoner quest for a realm reborn. Primal Burdens. Alright, you ready, Carbuncle? Let's do this. Ymitra has some terrible news to tell you. Lovely. Satora, there has been a terrible incident. My poor colleagues at St. Koinok's find, murdered. The reports are confused, but they all mention the same black-robed attacker. You know as well as I do that Tristan is behind this massacre. He has indeed grown bold, or desperate, to commit such a brazen act. We should set off to Mordona at once and speak with any survivors. It may be that we can glean some idea of what that cold-hearted monster was after, or where he might strike next. We must stop him, Satora. Oh god, the researchers are... Oh dear god, that's terrible. Okay, quickly off to Mordona. Alright, made it to St. Koinok's find. Now let's see... if we can find any survivors. Looks like there are quite a few survivors, which is good. But, there were definitely also some murders around here, so that is, Though the necessity pains me, we must ask this man what he remembers of the attack. Tristan cannot be allowed to escape the consequences of his unrepentant savagery. Yes, I'm absolutely certain. It was the same Dark Summoner whom Ymitra described to us. We were celebrating a recent find, the soul crystal of an elegant summoner, when a man in black robes suddenly appeared and demanded we surrender the gem. Naturally, we objected to this arrogant imposition, but he simply sneered at our refusal. The next moment, the world exploded into flame. Through a haze of agony, I saw him snatch up the soul crystal from a smoldering body and stride off toward the singing shards. That bastard slaughtered my friends. There was no warning, no negotiation. If the gods grant you the chance to exact vengeance, then I pray you show him the same mercy he afforded us. Okay, sounds like there weren't too many casualties, but any is too many. So, it's time for some revenge. Another soul crystal. Yes, it makes sense you would shift his attention to a more easily obtainable gem. After all your progress, you would now make for a most formidable opponent. I must apologize for not sharing my theory earlier. I suspected that Tristan might desire the soul crystal you carry, but did not wish to draw any premature conclusions without sufficient evidence. I am at a loss, however, to explain why he seeks to collect more of these elegant relics. We shall just have to ask the villain himself after we corner him in the singing shards. Let us be on our way. Alright. Let's go get some justice for the fallen. Up to the singing shards. Alright, it's not too far of a trek to get up to our destination. Just at the north end of this giant pit. Where are you, Tristan? Looks like right over here. But where? Fine, okay, geez, rude. You don't gotta be like that. I'll fight you, Hoppelet. Gosh. Oh, right, another thing that I changed. I think I moved that down there? I made some significant changes to my, summoner hotbar on my main, so I've needed to make some adjustments to keep it in sync. Here, let me see. Should probably also duplicate that over onto my AoE hotbar. You be patient, I'll get to you in a minute. Alright, here we go. Come on. This is a very interesting way they've decided to... Oh my god. This is a very interesting way they've decided to implement this encounter with Tristan. Having it just be entering that area, but if you get attacked by the Hoplets, everything falls apart. What the heck? This is a mess. There, goodness. Let's do this. I have brought you the soul crystals as promised. Yes, these appear to be authentic Allegan artifacts. Very well, I shall honor our bargain. From within these gems I will draw forth the memories of the ancient summoners, and the slumbering essence of an elder primal. All the attendant knowledge and power shall be yours. Ah! Oh god, it's the pain! Ah, the bumbling summoner and her incompetent lackey make an appearance at last. You think to capture me? Fools, I have orchestrated your every move. You have grown much in the art, it is true, but through the wisdom of the Paragons, I now command the power of an Elder Primal. You made a deal with the Paragons? And you call us fools? The Ascians will never relinquish their hold on you. A small price to pay. If you could but feel the strength that fills my entire being, it is indescribable. I will use this power to annihilate the beast tribes and put an end to their insufferable rituals once and for all. The Primals will rise no more. Hear me, Demon King of Devouring Flame. Feed on my ever-burning anguish and be reborn! The culmination of my sacred duty is at hand. But first, there is one more soul crystal that must be mine. I will tolerate its wasted potential no longer. Oh dear. Hello there, Belias Eggy. Oh goodness, this is not good. Okay, I think the Eggy's probably gotta be the first to go. That is a lot of power right there. And I'm hoping that in summoning it, he may have wasted a bunch of his own ether. If we're able to destroy it, then perhaps, if we are lucky, he won't have the strength to summon another one. Oh, but he is hitting quite hard. Take a potion of intelligence. Got it. Okay, down it goes. Oh dear, and he's summoning meteors down on us. Yeah, this is looking bad. My plan did not quite work out as intended, but he is not giving up too much of a fight, thankfully, now that his Eggy is gone. He just has a lot of strength that we need to deal with before he's able to use it on us. Got him. By all the memories of Summoner's past, I should have been unstoppable. I will sear the disease of beastmen from the face of the land. Deprived of worshipper, the primal that tempered my weak-willed sibling will wither into oblivion. So, I see my order's records were accurate. Though it was buried deep in the archives, I but recently uncovered a report that described how you slew your own brother. He was corrupted during your ill-fated encounter with Ifrit, was he not? I imagine your superiors in the Immortal Flames thought it out of mercy to conceal that inglorious detail. Once a soft-headed fool had been tempered, there was no saving him, and thus I took it upon myself to expunge the stain of embarrassment. But my work is left undone. The Primal, no, all Primals must suffer for that insult. After I killed my brother, I found myself liberated, my vision clear. No deed was too vile if it promised to add to the power I required. How can you not see? I am the Sword of Vengeance, and I shall wrest that soul crystal from your blasted corpse. I don't think he meant to do that. Oh dear. I wonder which struck the first blow to his sanity, the despair at his brother's tempering or the guilt from slaying his own kin. It is ironic to think that, discounting the means, our purposes were fundamentally one and the same. A summoner employs the savagery of the Primals to conquer the Primals themselves. Had Tristan approached us as an ally, we might have found ourselves aiding his cause. Alas, he chose to walk the path of bloodshed. Each vicious act must have pushed the man deeper into madness until, eventually, the lust for power and vengeance was all that drove him. The might of the Primals carries with it a burden of responsibility, and a measure of danger. I hope never to see you corrupted by the potent energies you wield, Satora. It is time we return to Apkalu Falls. The Dark Summoner is no more. Even if he had approached us looking for aid rather than seeking to simply take our power, I still think he was too far gone. We have seen already how many of the Primals are summoned by the tribes, not out of malice, but out of fear and self-defense. And while it's not good, the Primals drain the land of Ether, killing everything around them, and temper those who summon them. It is not hard to see why people in fear, whose homes, whose lives are being threatened by the humans, I suppose, of Eorzea. Though it's really hard to find a proper distinction, given the myriad races that are, not considered part of the tribes and which ones are considered. The distinctions are weird and don't really make sense, which is part of the point. It's not hard to see why they would give in to that. Oh, how I'd love to declare our troubles at an end, but I fear the Ascian with whom Tristan made his bargain is yet afoot. These so-called paragons prey upon men and women who are at their weakest, speaking honeyed words to lead them down the road to destruction. In this manner, they seek to plunge the realm of Eorzea into chaos. It is reassuring to know that heroes like you exist to foil their never-ending schemes and foul plots. An outright war against the Ascians looms closer by day. Thus would I have you armor yourself with this last piece of the Evoker's attire. It was discovered at the same dig site once Tristan seized the Soul Crystal, and the St. Coinox Fine researchers, grateful for your actions in bringing the murderous summoner to justice, insisted that you complete your set. One can never be overprepared when heading into a battle against a paragon. Wear it proudly, Satora. Speaking of preparations, were you aware of the deeper layer of power hidden within your avatars? A technique exists that allows you to tap into the full potential of your Eggy. You must have seen Tristan employing this ability. During the final battle with the Dark Summoner, you would have heard a whisper emanating from the Soul Crystal. Still your mind now, Satora, and you will hear the voices of the ancient summoners instructing you in their greatest achievement. The true power of the Eggy will be yours. Alright, we get the final piece of the Evoker's attire. We get a much stronger set of item level 90 Evoker's attire, specifically the Summoner's attire. And we get Enkindle, enhances the signature attack of summons, upgrading Ifrit Eggy's Burning Strike to Inferno, Titan Eggy's Rockbuster to Earth and Fury, and Garuda Eggy's Aerial Slash to Aerial Blast. Nice. And that is it for Summoner Quest for A Realm Reborn. The next will be available once we have completed A Realm Reborn and moved on to Heavensward. Alright, let's start out by putting on that new Evoker's Doublet. Very nice looking gear. I am very much a fan of this. Now, let's see. The new ability we got was a trait, I believe. Yes, it was a trait, simply upgrading our existing attacks so that they'll be a bit stronger in battle. And let's check out that item level 90 gear. I'll be going over the item levels and how they work and why they're suddenly jumping up to 90 next time we have a main scenario episode. But suffice to say, we are now significantly stronger. And that is quite exciting. Alright then, with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, looks like we're heading into the last dungeon of A Realm Reborn that is optional before we get to the post-game. I believe there's one more dungeon that we could technically do before the post-game, but it is level 50, so I'm gonna save it for post-game. Yeah, that sounds like it'll be the best option. For now, next time, we're gonna be checking out a new dungeon, and I think we're also gonna be getting to the next tier of our Grand Company. I will see everyone next time for that.